This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of What the Hell is Anna Doing? February and March wrap-up edition. Woo! Yay! Wow. So, I put this off. I shouldn't have because as I was going through everything, a lot happened in February and March. And we're actually going to be using later on in this video, because this is going to be a long one. I hope you guys are ready. I actually just got done watching Fit and Full Fat's video that she just put out, and there's some bits in there that I need for this wrap up as well. Because Anna deleted a lot over the past 2 months, and not only did Anna delete a lot, but Anna put a lot of stories up. And if you're not aware of how stories work on Instagram, they're only around for about 24 hours and then they delete themselves. So it's kind of like deleting, but not. Also, my neighbors are doing whatever the hell it is they do. It is roughly 72 degrees here today. I don't have my AC going, but I do have my lights on, so it might get a little warm. Just FYI. Not that it affects you in any way, shape, or form, but I might have to kick on a fan. Just letting you guys know. Anyway, so we're going to start with TikTok because TikTok is usually where Anna puts most of her stuff. So we're going to back up and start with TikTok, but now that I'm done fidgeting, we do have quite a bit of stuff that Anna, that I had to collect off the internet for Anna, because like I said, it's not that she deletes it exactly. It's just since it's put up on stories, it kind of helpfully deletes itself. So as usual, if the video is silent, that's because Anna's using copyright music and I haven't become cool enough to be able to do that without getting copyright hidden. There we go. So there we are. All right, so let's back all the way up to, as Anna called it, February or February. I don't even know how she would say that, honestly. To the February. She moved. She moved from her little apartment where we have known her to be to a brand new apartment somewhere in downtown Austin. I believe it was Austin. To a apartment that I am told is somewhere in the range of $7,000 to $700 or $7,500 a month. Look, if you can afford that, knock yourself out. I mean, that's amazing, cool, go you. My rent's like $1,400, so that's like a lot. I've never in my life paid that much rent for anything, so cool. I hope she gets a lot of bells and whistles for that. That's a lot of money. That's a house. That's a whole ass house. But I also don't live in the heart of a really big city. Like, that's a really big city she lives in and all of that. So I don't live in a big city like that. I don't have a lot of bells and whistles. I'm not Anna. I don't bring in shit tons of money by existing. So I also don't have a rich pappy. I wish I did. Anyway. So Anna did move, and in true Anna style, we can't just move. Anna did have her third surgery in no, see, I have jerky. I was gonna chew on it. I'm gonna put that away because we're not gonna do that on camera. Did she have her arm surgery? Or she's getting ready to have her arm surgery. So this is her POV packing for a move with ADHD. Anna has also decided that she has ADHD and is a neurodivergent. Now, in January, the end of January, Anna started her Medical Detectives podcast, if you are not aware. I did go over it, her first episode. That was a thing. That was a whole thing. All right. I'll try to leave links for everything down below in the description, so in case you wanted to go listen to those things. Maybe I'll even try to do the little cards thing. Maybe I'll have like a card pop up here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. How tech savvy can I be? But so yeah, in her podcast, she kind of hinted at being neurodivergent. Something that she will go on to hint about again when she does her Lipedema Mama podcast in March. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Anyway, so Anna decides, and Anna has been doing the whole maybe I'm ADHD, maybe I'm not thing off and on for a while now, honestly. I think last year she did something about organize my bathroom with me, ADHD style, and then proceeded to organize her bathroom in a way that is not in any way, shape, or form ADHD. Whatever. I guess everybody's ADHD is different. Who am I? Someone with actual ADHD. Who am I to judge? Anyhow, onward. So this is POV packing with ADHD. So she's steam cleaning her carpet. She's breaking down boxes. She's oiling her cutting boards, shredding her tax returns. I guess the point is she's doing everything except packing. So it's so her seriously, I get so much accomplished while procrastinating the thing I actually need to do. It's not. I don't mean to be too big of a dick, but it's not really an ADHD thing. Like, I know a lot of people want to be like, ha, ADHD, ha, we do all these quirky shit things, ha ha ha. I mean, we do, but it's not exclusively an ADHD thing. Like, we don't have rights to quirky, weird behavior. So, no offense, but it's not an ADHD thing exclusively. So, kind of where I'm at with that at this point. I'm getting really tired of everybody like, oh, I do this quirky thing. Ha, I have ADHD. Ha, isn't that quirky? No, man, it's fine. Lots of people have brain farts. Lots of people set shit down and forget where it is. Lots of people procrastinate. There are lots of things that lots of non-neurodivergent people do. There are also things that are people who don't have ADHD. They also do these things. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm also fucking tired of everybody having ADHD. So here we are with that. ADHD rant aside, onward. So yeah, so this was February the 3rd that she did this. This is all 2025, by the way. This is not a retro. I mean, it is, but it's not. So onward to February 4th. Anna is once again our lipedema warrior queen. In preparation for my next surgery, I need clothing I could recover in comfortably that wouldn't compromise my surgical results. Like, what? Like, what? What? Of course, I waited until the absolute last minute to get this all sorted out. Is that an ADHD thing too? Because I'm in the middle of the move, and frankly, life has been busier than I expected. Thank goodness. Nearly everything worked. Here's the thing. I don't remember Anna mentioning that she was going to move. She just started moving out of nowhere. And the first time that I saw her mention it was on her threads, where she had said something to the effect of, it was actually pretty funny, actually. She said, like, these last few boxes that I'm packing, I'm just randomly throwing things into them. She said something like, I should do a mystery unboxing of these last few boxes because even I don't know what's in them. And I was like, that's relatable. And actually, it'd be pretty funny because I do that. I think everybody does that at the end of the packing. You're just like, truck, just put it in a box. Who cares? You know, it's just like the random boxes. And I think that would be kind of funny, like when you move. The next time somebody moves, is be like, and now for the random mystery unboxing of the crap that was the last shit that I packed. I think it would be funny, personally. If and when I ever move again, which will be in a very long time from now. Maybe I'll remember I said that and maybe I'll do it. This one looks like we might actually be able to have some audio because this is, I think, a fashion haul. So Anna has already said, I'm Anna, and I have lipedema, and I'm prepping.
And I am prepping for my next surgery, which is just a few days away. So
Anna is prepping for her brachoplasty, which is where she is going to have all of the fat sucked out of her lower arm. She's having her bat wings removed. And then they are going to cut off her arms, her lower arms, and stitch her back up. That's what's going to happen. I know, spoilers.
Surgery is on my arms and calves, and as part of that,
I know she keeps saying that her next surgery was going to be on her arms and her calves, but I don't recall anything happening to her calves. So I don't know if, like, her arms were just so much more noticeable, because they really were noticeable, than her calves, or if they just opted to not do anything on her calves, or if her calves were just so, like, minor compared. I don't know. I just don't remember anything happening to her calves, but she said repetitively that she was having her arms and her calves done. So I just didn't notice a difference, to be honest.
That surgery, I'm getting something called a brachioplasty.
Brachioplasty.
A brachioplasty is actually where they remove the excess skin from your arms.
Girlfriend, Anna, look, man. I know you don't like this. I know you don't like hearing this. I know, because I've seen your rages. But girlfriend, you don't have loose skin on your arms. I mean, you don't have skin on your arms anymore at all, so it's moot at this point, but you don't have loose skin. There is no loose skin anywhere on your body. Like, anywhere. You have got to stop. This isn't healthy. It really isn't. You're like that woman who wants to look like a Barbie doll, and so she's having like so much plastic surgery to look like a Barbie doll that she's like fucking delusional. You're becoming that woman, only you're a 600-pound version of her. It's just, I literally worry about you. I don't worry about most of the girls. I worry about you, not rent-free, but when I watch your videos and I hear you talk, this is a real moment. Like, for real, Anna. You don't have loose skin, okay? You never did. You're not unburnable fat. You may or may not actually have lipedema. I don't know. But I do know that your doctors are not good for you. And they are hurting you. And you label the people who are trying to help you the most, you label us as haters. And girlfriend, you've got to stop. This is not going to end well. Anyway, back to being a snarky reactor. All right.
Literally won't be able to put my hands above my head like this. While I'm healing, I'm only going to be able to wear things that either zip up or button up. It means I went shopping. So I got to try all of this on and decide what to keep, what to pack, and what to return. Fashion show.
Thing you started your channel on. That thing you started your channel on. I probably should not have the audio playing. Sorry. I think like I hate these. She says, so I'm pretty lucky that pretty much
everything worked. Only one thing, this like pajamas.
Those pajamas that she doesn't like are $800.
With cheetahs on it. It didn't work. It was just a little too tight in the thighs, and
we'll talk about the whale pajamas in a minute.
You really want everything to be a bit baggy post-surgery. Yeah.
But you're not getting your thighs worked on, so what difference does it make? Also, girlfriend, you like wearing skin-tight clothes, so...
I'm very grateful because I definitely waited till the absolute last minute to do this. Now we can pack for surgery.
Hooray!
I have a condition called lipedema, and I can
prep... So Anna was planning on living in PJs after her surgery. I don't blame her, honestly. And they were nice PJs. The only ones I didn't like were those like color block ones. The bright primary color block ones. They were kind of, I'm not a primary color block kind of person, and it was a lot of color all at once. It kind of looked like something you dress a 3-year-old in. But as Anna has admitted on more than one occasion, she is very much into toddler core, which, if you didn't know, is a thing. I wish I didn't know that, but I do. Anyhow, I think I already read that. So,
hi.
All right, so this is Anna actually packing. Here's a little video of everything I packed for my lipedema removal and brachoplasty. Anyway, several other things, especially extra medical supplies, I shipped directly to the hotel. I learned the first time around that it's not worth lugging at all there. Just let your hotel Just let your hotel know it's on its way, and make sure you ship it so it will arrive before you need it. That's true. I lived out of hotels for a long time. And yeah, you can get things shipped to your hotel. You can ship things to your hotel. On more than one occasion, I had to have Amazon send things to my hotel because I needed like shoes or new work clothes or just like tools, or just random shit every now and then. Every now and then you just don't want to buy crap from the farm store, you know? And yeah, as long as you're there long enough, you can get stuff sent there from Amazon, or, you know, my mom sent me a care package every now and then, which was nice. Cookies from my mama. That was always nice. Put glasses on so we can actually see what we're reading. So yeah, no, you can totally do that. I highly recommend it if you're going to be staying someplace for a long amount of time. I'm pretty sure you could probably have it done to your Airbnbs. I've never tried because Airbnb wasn't a thing when I was working, but it is now, I guess. So there you have it. I'd read the comments, but here's the thing. Anna curates her comments really hard, so probably all these are going to be like, oh my god, you're so awesome. Anna also very rarely interacts with her comments. So I know I have a couple screenshots of things to talk about after we've gone through all this stuff. But for the most part, Anna doesn't interact with her comments. On YouTube, during this time, and also I think still continuing, Anna has turned off comments completely on all of her YouTube content, and she's not putting out long form videos anymore. So she is, I don't know if she's abandoned YouTube altogether or if she's just punishing YouTube right now because, you know, reactors suck apparently. But yeah, so YouTube is a black hole for Anna right now. The only time that there are comments allowed on her videos is if she's doing something sponsored. And right now the only sponsored content she's doing is Starbucks. So if it's a officially Starbucks sponsored thing, like her little cherry chai outfit and her French lavender chai drink, I guess. We'll get to it. It pops up, I think, in March. Anyway, both of those had comments enabled on YouTube because she had to, because of the sponsorships. But otherwise, you can't comment on her stuff on YouTube. So there's that. Excuse me, sorry. So let's watch this real fast. The only thing I don't like about TikTok is you can't really speed through it. Can't you speed through it?
Today I am.
He's packing surgery.
Podcast equipment. And in the carry-on, I put my medical device, like my CPAP.
So that you can't blame somebody for stealing it after you forget it on the airplane again.
I also have to add my podcast equipment because we're recording medical detectives like while I'm there.
I think I talked about this when we went over it the first time, is that podcasting equipment can be really elaborate, but it can also just be like my mic and my headset and a laptop. Like, you don't have to go super fancy for podcasting equipment. So
my compression socks, an extra pair of compression, and then whatever I'm wearing the next day.
Partners home.
One down, one more to go. Get over here. Get over. I have two like matching sets of underwear. That is a thong.
Great, thanks for sharing.
Just because I'm in a set of bag, that's my bands to wear. In the back, I'm gonna put with a every day, and I don't bring any makeup with and all day every day, and it is the worst. Usually when I go to surgery, I don't bring any makeup, but because I am recording a podcast episode, I'm bringing the bare minimum, just enough in case I break out. I also put a couple extra contacts in here just in case my bag gets lost.
Did I know she wore her contacts? I honestly thought she just wore those stupid ass glasses because she liked the way they looked. I didn't actually think she needed glasses, but apparently I'm wrong.
It's everything I'm taking on the plane in my suitcase, and I still have a lot of room. In my suitcase, and I still have a lot of room.
You should take the dog. Why is the dog wearing a shirt? Why is the dog wearing a shirt that matches your... Like... Anyway.
Success! I almost forgot to tell you what's in my backpack, so I'm taking my big old bag of meds, wallet, some cheap sunglasses that I will probably lose.
Yelling at the air with a cheap sunglasses. I don't care. All right, anyway, so there we go. That's what Anna packs on her bags.
You'll never believe what happened on my flight.
Now, usually when I travel for my lipedema surgeries, I make a little vlog about the process.
I know last time I did this, I had to knock the sound out because we're not allowed to fly with Sugar Ray. But once again, Anna tells us about her travel experience where she can't travel worth a damn because Anna has, like, no success. Can you imagine being the guy in the seat next to her and she's, like, got her fucking shit in front of your face? Probably it's John. So, because somebody's filming her. One of the things that Anna did post, and I have some screenshots of it that I'll save later. Anna tries to put a picture up of her walking down the aisle, and she's like, oh my god, in the past I had to turn sideways in order to fit down the aisles, but this time I could just walk straight down the aisle. And you can see in the video here, though, that she still has to, like, twist to get down the aisle to fit. And on the one hand, I don't care. I really don't. Because most people usually have to, like, turn in some way to get down those stupid aisles. They're very, very narrow. You know, I think the only people that fit are stewardesses, and even them, you know, they're like... So, unless you're a very, very petite person, you're probably going to have to turn somehow to get down those aisles. But Anna's trying to pretend like she is that petite person after nothing. And so she's like, oh my god, you guys, I don't have to, like, move at all. I can just, like, sashay down the runway. And it's like, girl, stop. You're delusional. And this is one of those times where we can see that you're fucking delusional. You still have to turn to get down the aisle. Maybe you don't have to turn completely sideways and, like, crab walk down the fucking aisle, but you're not proving anything here. You're actually doing the exact opposite. But anyway, back to Anna can't travel because I think she's actually cursed. I think she actually has cursed travel. The day before surgery is usually crammed packed with everything I have to do before surgery. Spend the day with me as I get the things prepped and ready for a successful surgery number 3. I think we have some sound here.
Whole thing, I'll do like a separate video on it. So we finished the pre-op.
All right, let's go all the way
Day
to the
before
back.
surgery is usually intense.
It says, I'm having my third lipedema removal surgery. I'm having surgery on my arms and calves.
Down and out for days. First up on the to-do list, John and I had breakfast with my podcast producer.
We think that the John sighting was because up to this point, people hadn't seen John in a while, and Anna was doing a lot of her own filming. And so people were starting to speculate that John had left. And so I think this was honestly just a wild John sighting because she needed people to know that John was still working with her. That could be me just being, like, super cynical, though. So this woman here is the Medical Detectives podcast producer. She also produces the Dating Detectives podcast, which is the sister podcast of Anna's podcast. Anna says she's never met this woman for face to face before, so I'm still very interested in how this podcast got started. Because Dr. Nance does jack all on this podcast. Like, she may have like 10 whole words. Anna basically just blathers through the whole thing. So I'd really like to know how these two got connected and how Dr. Nance got brought into the whole thing. Like, I'd like to know the history of the founding of this podcast. I'm more curious about that than any of the actual podcast content.
Who I'd actually never met in real life, and turns out she's awesome. Just finished breakfast, and now we're on to our next stop. My pre-op appointment at the Roxbury, which is a whole thing. I'll do like a separate video on it.
Pre-op appointments are where something that flipped too fast. I couldn't read.
So we finished the pre-op, and now we're going to do a little testimonial before we leave.
See, before she got to the pre-op, though, she was wearing her compression garments, and now she's not wearing compression garments on her arms anymore.
Hi, my name is Anna O'Brien, and now we're going to go ahead to Din Tai Fung, which is my favorite pre-op tradition.
This is a really interesting clip here in the next couple seconds, because Anna is always like, you guys don't know what I eat. And here she's telling us that she goes to this Dim Phi, I'm going to say it wrong, Dim Phi Tung, every time she goes to surgery. And I have found out that it is a restaurant chain, a very small restaurant chain, but apparently they have like the world's best soup dumplings. Don't know, had never been. The nearest one to me is in New York. Might be able to check it out someday. Not anytime soon. Anyway, Anna shows us that she without explaining, so otherwise I have no reason to believe otherwise. Anna shows us that she eats an entire thing of soup dumplings herself, and then eats an entire plate of garlic green beans, which, don't get me wrong, both of those things are delicious. I've had soup dumplings other places, and they are one of my favorite things, but they're also very rich, and I can usually only eat like maybe 2 or 3 of them at a go, right? And I really like the garlic green beans that she's going to eat. I usually cut mine into pieces before I try shoving the whole damn thing in my mouth, but you know, some of us have table manners. Anyhow, but the garlic green beans, my understanding of how they cook them is they cook them in either a lot of oil or a lot of butter, and that's why they're so delicious, with a lot of garlic and a lot of salt. So they are delicious. I mean, they are green beans, but they are delicious. I still can't put down an entire plate of them. And also, none of these dishes that she's eating are meant to be for a single individual. They're meant to be shared by the table, right? And it's just like Anna gets on our cases about, you don't know what I eat. And it's like, yeah, but I know what you show me what you eat. And if that's like what you think is a single serving, it kind of explains a lot. It's kind of what I say, because she'll do her meal prepping in this month. She'll do her meal prepping in March. And it's kind of the same thing in her meal prepping in March. It's not really that the food that she meal prepped was particularly bad. You know, she made a quiche, she made some sweet fire chicken. None of those things are particularly bad, but her portions are massive. And that's the problem, I think, with Anna. Partially, it's her serving sizes are just outrageous. And then on top of it, she snacks. Like, her snacks are notoriously bad. But anyway. Nope, that doesn't work.
We low-key did not park anywhere near And I'm
she says, before surgery, I go off all my pain management meds. So, people who are aware of where she's located here, and because there's not a lot of Din Tai Fungs around, so it's very easy to figure out where she was, and so they're very familiar with the mall that she's at. They're like, yeah, the furthest you can park is like a block away from the entrance of this mall. And up to this point, Anna's like, oh yeah, you guys, she was back to running and working out at this point. So theoretically, this shouldn't have been an issue for her, because also remember, the surgeries she's had have been on her inner and outer thighs at this point. And she's just been raving about how those surgeries have removed all of the pain that she'd been suffering from her lipedema at this time. And now here she is having issues walking from the parking lot to the restaurant in this mall parking lot. And she's complaining about it as if she's had to walk like miles to get from the car to the restaurant. And she's trying to blame her pain meds or her lack thereof. And it's just like, so which is it, Anna? Is the surgery helping with your pain and it's clearing up your lipedema and you're able to move and walk with ease now, like you've been claiming up to this point? Or is it just the same as it always has been, and it seems like the only reason why you're not in pain is because you're taking something to mask the pain, which is kind of a concerning statement, right? I'm not willing to say anything one way or the other, even though there are plenty of people who do say shit in my comments. But it is a concerning statement to say the only time you're not complaining about your pain is when you appear to be on pain meds, which means the surgeries that you have been having to deal with the pain of your lipedema are not actually dealing with the pain of your lipedema, yet you are continuing to have body modification surgeries because they're supposed to be dealing with the pain of your lipedema. If they're not working, why are you continuing to have them? Anyway.
I'm sore and this sucks. Yay! We always try different things, but I always get the cucumbers, the soup dumplings, and of course, the green beans. If you know, you know. Just finished lunch, and now I've got to head back because I have to record my podcast for the medical detectives. Wild. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
This particular episode that she had come on, this is Chan, I think her name is Chan Plant or Plante. This woman's episode actually was really good. I listened to it, not because of Anna, but this particular individual, she seems to be really interesting. She's apparently a really popular TikToker. She has one eye, and that is because she got some kind of weird, she probably really is a medical mystery. She got some kind of weird growth behind her eyeball. They never really seemed to figure out why or what caused it. And basically it led to her having to have her eye removed in order to basically have the pain removed. I mean, according to her, it was just like this excruciating pain. So she just had her eye removed. I can't imagine. But anyway, the story leading up to all of that was very interesting, and just her personality seems to be pretty, I don't know, pretty nice, especially compared to Anna's during the entire fucking podcast. So, so that was pretty interesting. And yeah, so if you want to listen to one of the episodes that isn't actual garbage, look for that one. I think it's like episode 4, maybe 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly. But yeah. Oh, it's the table.
I just finished recording, and I get really tired after recording because I talk a lot.
Yes, you do.
Feeling tired, so I got in bed and I just answered all of the emails and phone calls and stuff that I had ignored.
She said, I had over 100 emails I had to respond to. Gee, imagine if you actually responded to, like, comments, too. You'd have somewhere around the area of 100 comments to respond to as well.
All day long because of everything else. I just finished working, and the last thing I'm going to do is take my Hebe cleanse shower, which is just surgery prep. I forgot to film a clip, but after that I went to bed.
I don't think I need a clip of you going to bed. It's cool. So that is apparently Anna's routine before she has surgery. It's a little weird to me that Anna's had enough surgeries at this point that she has a surgery routine, but this is only surgery number 3, to be honest with you guys. She has a 4th one scheduled where she's basically having a tummy tuck. That'll be interesting because since the first surgery, Anna's been putting on weight in her gut and ass. So I doubt that the surgeries really do stop with surgery number 4 because, I mean, you can suck the gut fat out if you want, but you've still got ass fat and you've still got back fat, and she's got fat depositing on her shoulders and her neck now. And I'm like, I mean, when does it end? But apparently when Anna gets the body shape she wants.
Yeah, my pre-op appointment.
All right, so this is February 11th. Oh, by the way, today is April the 4th. She's back at the advanced lipedema treatment at the Roxbury Institute for her pre-op appointment for her next surgery, which is a big one. Dr. Amron will be performing lipedema reduction surgery. He's going to suck all the fat out of her arm. And breaking apart the fibroids in my arms, calves, and ankles. He's going to give you liposuction. Then Dr. Moshrefi will perform a brachoplasty right after. The pre-op appointments are important because they are where you reconfirm your surgical plan, go over any last-minute questions with the surgeon, get your post-op bag with supplies you'll need after surgery, ensure your caregiver is prepared to care for you, and sign your surgical consents. ALT does an amazing job of informing you in a clear and understandable way, and I felt super prepared and ready for everything to come. I can't wait to see my results after surgery. That's not bad parking. That's what parking is around here.
I can't believe I forgot it.
Oh yeah.
Got the underwear.
This is probably, Anna has unspecified autoimmune diseases, and a couple people were in my comments and they were like, no, she's got Hashimoto's. She does have Hashimoto's, but she also has she's also claiming to have other unspecified autoimmune disorders that she will not clarify what they are. There's a comment I'll try to put up on the screen where someone just straight up asks her, what autoimmune issues are you having? What new autoimmune issues are you having? And Anna says something to the effect of, oh, I'm still trying to wrap my head around them myself, so I don't want to share that information yet. And I'm just like, it's like when Amber gives one of her half-assed answers, and I'm like, oh, it's because you haven't made the story up yet. Gotcha. So it's kind of where I feel like Anna's at right now, where Anna's like, oh, I can't tell you what my autoimmune issues are because I haven't made them up yet. So that's kind of what it feels like. So yeah, but this is important here because she's trying to blame her brain fog on her autoimmune disorders, and it's just like, girlfriend, brain fog is like everybody has brain fog. You know what a common symptom, what is common with brain fog? Being alive, waking up.
I can't believe I forgot it. I'm just waiting for the car now. Just picked up the underwear, but realized I left my key in there, so.
Yeah, brain fog is more likely to occur in women. And then she tries to quote this, and I think A, the name is spelled incorrectly, and B, this is not a citation. This is only a citation, this here. Anna's trying to cite her sources because I guess she got tired of me yelling at her to cite her sources. This citation only works if in her thing here, if she had actually listed out the paper. Like, had 2004, Felton Cornelius, yada, 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 paper, da, 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 published in yada, yada, yada. And then, a link would be great, but at least give me the name of the paper with their names attached to it. This does me nothing. This does nothing for me. I mean, I can go type this in, but what if they publish multiple papers that year? I don't know. What if they were on multiple papers that year? So this, though you can go and look this up, and I think it will produce something, because I think I did look it up. This is not how you cite things. So just FYI, if you want to do this kind of stuff in your videos, this works, but only if you have in your description down here. I don't think, yeah, you can see my thingy down here. If you then list the paper in your description, because otherwise this tells me nothing. So if you're going to do this, and I highly recommend that you do, list the paper in its entirety, like the entire title and all of that in your description here. If you're not fully familiar with APA or MLM, no, that's the wrong one. MLA or whatever, AAA, that kind of bullshit, the least you can do for citation, because I don't expect everybody to be like academically citing things in perfection. I'm not going to come in and start critiquing your citations, but if you're going to cite things, the least you need when you cite things is the author's names, the year the paper was published, the name of the paper, and if the paper was in a journal or something, you need the name of the journal. So if it's just a book, you can stop with the book. Like I said, if it's a chapter out of the book, you can do that too. There's a multitude of ways to get really specific with your citations if you want to knock yourself out. But honestly, if you're just like the average person and you're just trying to quote a paper that you read somewhere, even if you just read it on the internet, put a link if you can. But the basics of what you need to cite something is the author's names, the year of the publication, the name of the paper, and if it's out of a journal or not, the name of the journal. Otherwise, I mean, because this half-ass attempt here, especially coming from Anna, this half-ass attempt here is basically just a like, see, I did it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I know you know better because you've got a master's. So I know you know how to write a real paper, Anna. I know you know how to cite a source. You wouldn't know it reading your damn book, but I know you know. Anyway. But anyway, she's trying to basically say here with her whole brain fog thing, she's trying to be like, oh my god, my brain fog's so bad because I have autoimmune disease and also I'm female. So I have brain fog worse than you have brain fog. It's just like, whatever. Get over yourself. What else happened in this one? Oh yeah, she talks about all of her keypads and her information. Flashes us. The only really interesting thing that comes from these pictures is later on, both on the Reddit and on the farms, people have taken her pictures and have done a side-by-side comparison. And it's basically showing that there's either no change or the change, or she's worse now. These are the after pictures than she is in her pictures before her surgeries started. And Fit and Full Fat did some absolute fabulous overlays with this. I'll try to insert the clip in here. Right around here.
During this pre-op appointment, which appears to be either the day before or the day of surgery, Anna also had some progress photos taken. So we can see just how much she's changed after 2 rounds of liposuction on her legs. And oh boy, this is where things get interesting. Because the changes that Anna has made over the course of 6 or 7 months now and these 2 liposuction surgeries, well, the changes are negligible. And I got the idea off of, I can't remember if it was a Farms or a Reddit user, but somebody posted a photo showing the before and after, with the after photo being like a transparent layer on top of the before photo. So I took the photos again and I tweaked it just a little bit because they weren't quite lined up to my liking. And so I scaled the images, brought them to AutoCAD, and did far too much work for what I actually did here. But it's done. So here we are. This is the before, and this is the after. Before, after. Again, this is before and after. And it doesn't matter how many times I flip through, it's like a guessing game to see what has changed. And it's the same thing when I layer the after image over as a transparent layer. A near perfect match. Nothing has changed over the past 6 or 7 months. And the same thing goes for the profile shot. This is before and this is after. Before, after. Before, and after 2 liposuctions and half a year of hard work. And as a transparent layer, this time, you can actually see a slight increase in the gut area. But that could just be down to the stance or the undergarments. So yeah, to me, there has been no noticeable change aside from maybe a little bit of more like sagginess in the inner thighs, but definitely nothing close to what she could have achieved if she had been focusing on her diet. And because there's been a lot of discussion lately about Anna's true size, I thought I'd add my stupid little scaled images to the mix because, you know, I've already put in the work. So there was this post floating around on Reddit showing somebody who had found the cryovac chamber thing that Anna fit into. This chamber had an opening of 26 inches, and seeing that Anna just barely squeezed in, they did some quick math and found her circumference to be about 82 inches or 2.08 meters. And as much as I appreciate the thought and detective work that went into this, I did find a little bit of an error in this whole equation. So as I mentioned, I scaled Anna's images knowing that she's about 5'11", but I also took off 1.5 inches just to account for like a little bit of slouch, and also her feet were a little bit apart in these photos. So now with that scaled image, her hip diameter appears to actually be about 70 centimeters or about 27.5 inches. So a little bit larger than that cryovac chamber, which supports her having to squeeze into the thing, and even shifting the thing backwards as she fit herself in. But Anna's cross-section is not circular. She's more of like an ellipse shape if you were to slice her in half at the thighs. Oh my god, it's so gruesome. So I then took her profile shot, scaled that, lined it up with her forward-facing view, and you can see that the widest part of her hips in the front view does not line up with the widest part of her hips in the side view. So some more quick maths now using the formula for an ellipse, not a circle, and her circumference around the widest part of her thighs is about 1.76 meters, or about 69 inches in freedom units, which is somewhat less than the Reddit claims of 82 inches in circumference. And just for fun, I also measured the widest part of her bum, which is not the widest part of her thighs. And at this location, she's about 1.92 meters or about 75 inches in circumference. Anyway, do with that what you want.
And also, very interestingly, Fit and Full Fat also went and did a little extra math talking about Anna's actual like dimensions. I think this is a good place to put that too, just because it was fascinating to me. I'm not a math person, so having her do all of that math, that was kind of fun too. But yeah, anyway, the comparison pictures show that Anna's not looking better. She's either not improved at all or she has gotten worse as far as weight gain. So and then after surgery, when her arms are done, like they just basically cut all of this off. And so she just has like this skinny little arm. And skinny is not even really the word for it. But anyway, she's just got this, for her, normal looking arm on this like body that she's got. And it's just like, it's so weird looking.
Big woman, small room, you know.
No, I don't. I don't have that problem. But anyway, so that's the surgery. Oops. So this is just Anna goofing around before, I'm going to let it play. This is just Anna goofing around before her surgery around February the 12th. Anna is claiming, I guess there's some kind of goofy music here. Anna is claiming that at this moment where she falls down in front of the Roxbury sign, she's like, oh my God, I fell down at this moment. There's another clip. I don't know if we'll get to it. But she's like, oh my God, I accidentally fell down in front of the Roxbury sign because I'm so clumsy, and I'm clumsy because of my EDS. She's really, really trying to claim that she's got Ehlers-Danlos. I know I mispronounced that, but she's trying to claim that she's got hypermobile EDS. And because of that, she's like super, super clumsy, you guys. And this is one of the moments where she was like, oh my God, I'm so clumsy. I like fell while I was standing under this sign, but it was so iconic that I decided to put it into this video, and it just worked in this video. So anyway, I'm sorry, I forgot that had surgery footage in it. I apologize. I'll cut that out. Anyway, in this moment, like you'll see when she sinks down, we're not going to watch the rest of this one again. I apologize. But when she sinks down, she's like lip syncing the words to the song. And I'm just like, if this was just one of those like serendipitous moments where you, oops, I fell because I'm clumsy. Why were you lip syncing the words to the song then? Because how would you know that you were going to do this if you were just being a dumbass and you slipped versus like you were actually planning on doing that and you were lip syncing the song? So this is one of those moments where you can't trust what Anna has to say because clearly you were lip syncing the words when you fell down. So which was it? Were you prepared for it, or was it an oopsie moment? And if it was an oopsie moment, why were you lip singing the song? Anyway, so there's that. We're going to skip that. I completely forgot about I'm going to try to leave the surgery footage out as much as humanly possible because I don't like it. And this is her sad Valentine's Day video, you know, and I am going to make you suffer through this. And it's playing to the sexual healing song. Sexual healing, sexual. Dun, dun, that's good for you. Do, 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 do. Can you imagine coming home to that? There you go. I had to suffer, so did you. Anyway, Anna in threads around this time was posting all of these old pictures that she had done of just like these cringeworthy Valentine's Day photos that she does every year. And she's right, she does. Every year around Valentine's Day, she puts out some kind of like questionably cringy anti-Valentine picture because she's always single on Valentine's Day. And so she does this, and this is just her contribution to 2025 was this, because she had just had her surgery. And so she was doing that. And so she says, heal me, baby, heal me. Ugh. Happy Sad Valentine's 2025 every year for what is now too many years to count. I've made content about something sad that's Valentine's or love themed. This year, trying to be a sexy minx while also being stitched up, wrapped up, and admittedly not all there. Just felt like next level sadness. Just a girl fighting for what she cannot have. What? To be very clear, this is a joke, and the last thing I want is for anyone to touch me, especially right now. I don't think that was a problem, don't worry. Lastly, shout out to my friend Shayla for helping me pull this off, because obviously I couldn't do this on my own, obviously. So there you go. This is Dr. Mashrefi is here to do the markings for my brachoplasty. Is there surgery in this one? So this is on February the 15th. She's basically just showing some love to Dr. Mashrefi. And she's just talking him up. It's very interesting, though. I'm going to let you guys, if you want to read this, you can read this on your own, because she's basically just talking him up, basically. The interesting thing about this one, though, is she talks about, and this is very interesting, though, here, right here. He says there's a very heavy fullness in Anna's arm. Anna will tell you that this is loose skin that he's touching right now. This is all loose skin that he's touching right now. And Mashrefi is very much saying that this is not loose skin. This is full of fat. So what's basically going to happen in her surgery, I'm sorry for the butt shot, but what's basically going to happen in surgery is Amron's going to come in, liposuction all of this out, and then Mashrefi's going to come in immediately afterwards and take off the loose skin. Because it will be loose skin after that. So he's explaining the lines on her body. Oh yeah, and this is Anna remembering that it's supposed to hurt. Remember, it's painful. Remember? Oh wait, he's touching me. Oh, ow, oh. Oh yeah, oh, ow, ow, that's the worst one. Ow, oh yeah, Yeah, and it's supposed to hurt, right? Anyhow. Does she look like she's in pain here? She is now. Anyhow. Dr. Sean was here, good luck. She goes on in the surgery video. We're not going to watch it because there's actual footage of the surgery in it. Actually, it might have gotten pulled. I know that not YouTube. TikTok pulled down one of Anna's videos. TikTok pulled down one of Anna's videos about the surgery because it was unhealthy, according to YouTube. Or, sorry, TikTok. And it actually pissed Anna off. I've got a clip of that somewhere as well. But she goes on to claim that Dr. Mashrefi was the... I mean, well, claim or otherwise, like he's like one of the youngest surgeons in his field. And that may or may not be true. I don't know. But she's like, he invented the invisible brachoplasty. And it's like, that's not true. And then she claimed that he invented the suture, the invisible suture that she gets, which is also not true. And then she claims something else about him that I don't exactly remember, but it turns out to also not be true. So I don't understand why Anna feels the need to lie about her doctors like that when it's something very easily verifiably not true. Because these are techniques that have been used for a while now, and he is not the one that invented them. So, unless he invented them when he was like 5. But anyway, another thing, and I don't want to go back to the surgery video, but another thing people have pointed out to me, and I do want to mention it here, Anna's surgery stitch scars look awful. They look horrific. But a number of people have pointed out to me, especially people who have already had the surgery, have pointed out that the scars themselves, when they have healed, that this is apparently like a glue. And that's why it just looks so awful. And then apparently when the glue comes off, because it'll apparently flake off, I'm guessing. And is there or isn't there stitching? I'm assuming there's some stitching and then there's the glue. Anyway, when it all comes off, it's going to leave a very light scar. So there will be a scar, but it'll be very, very faint, and it won't look anything like what it does, which I'm glad for, because if it did, holy crap. It's, wow. So anyway, in my knowledge, from what people are telling me, who again, people who have had the same surgery, they're telling me that no, it doesn't look anything like that when it's healed. So that's good to know. So this is going to be one of Anna's surgery videos. Dr. Amron has done over 8,000 successful lipedema surgeries. I think this is the video I was just telling you guys about. So this is arm plus calf surgery part 1 from February 16th. There's a lot going on here. The reason I chose Amron, and I did interview quite a few doctors. Did you though? because this is an important detail to remember for later. Actually, this is important enough that I'm going to screen cap it. Hang on real fast. Front screen. We're gonna do this real fast. All right. So this is an important detail here. I did interview quite a few doctors because later on in Anna's interview with the Lipedema Mamas podcast, she doesn't interview anyone. Anyway, it's because of my experience. The reason I chose Amron is because of my experience, really. I am a later stage patient. My surgery can be a bit more complicated, and I have a lot of fibroids. Dr. Amron has vast experience and an impressive amount of successful lipedema reduction surgeries in his career. Plus, I've already had 2 surgeries with him, and I could not be happier with the results. Even though you still have to take pain medications to mitigate the amount of pain that walking causes you. In addition to his experience, he is dedicated to lipedema and has a dedicated team that I trust. I appreciate their super specialized approach. Dr. Amron is a dermatological surgeon focused and specialized. Focuses and specializes in lipedema reduction. And Dr. Mashrafi, a plastic surgeon, focuses and specializes on the reconstructive aspect of the surgery. Together, they make a dynamic duo. And I know I'm in great hands. I'm excited for the results of my 3rd surgery to show and for me to get out there and do more of what I love. So, let me double check that this isn't... Yeah, no, we're not watching that one. Sorry, guys. No. Stop. Alright, so yeah, this is another one of the videos that is a little gross, so we're not going to watch that one. But the important part is here. The most important part is in the first paragraph, or the first sentence, honestly. Again, Anna's going to go on a podcast in late March called, or maybe it's mid-March, called the Lipedema Mamas podcast, where she once again reinvents her whole lipedema arc story, and she brings up Bagelgate again. Anna's going to start harping on Bagelgate a lot. Why? Don't know. Anyway, so she's gonna claim later on the Lipedema Mamas podcast that, unlike in the first podcast that she did on her own podcast, where she says that she had been recommended Amron, and she says that in her own vlogs as well, that she had been recommended to go to Amron. She claims in the Lipedema Mamas podcast that she got on PubMed and read a bunch of medical journals on PubMed, and from that selected Amron herself without any assistance. And that's how she decided to start working with Amron. There's no mention of interviews. There's no mention of being recommended to Amron. There's no mention of Herbst, which is interesting. And there's no mention of, did I say interviewing people? Yeah. So anyway, it's just, it really does honestly depend on the day as to how Anna and Dr. Amron got connected. You know, one day she was recommended him by her obesity specialist, which I think is probably the actual truth. The next day is she held interviews with a variety of doctors. There might be some truth in that, honestly. She may have had like a number of doctors recommended to her by her obesity doctor, because she did mention that she chose to go with Amron because he didn't have a BMI cutoff. Unlike the other surgeons that she spoke with, who were basically like, nah, you're too big. You're a risk. You might die. We're not doing this. Amron was like, nah, it's fine. It's cool. I don't mind that your BMI is in an astronomical number. I don't mind that you have a 3-digit BMI. It's fine. She doesn't, but I'm just being hyperbolic. Anyway, so she has mentioned that in the past. But then to go from, you know, recommendations and, you know, asking other doctors before settling on Amron to, oh no, I totally just read a bunch of PubMed articles and just picked his name out of all of the journals that I read. Amron's not on any of those. As far as I understand, Amron's not a research doctor. He doesn't do research articles like that. I don't know what journal he would have been published in for you to have found him, but I don't know, maybe. Maybe she found the one journal that Amron published in. Herbst's name is on everything. If she had said she found Herbst that way, I would be like, all right, well, I mean, there's at least evidence that Herbst's name is on everything, but Amron? You sure you want to go there? But anyway. All right, this is another surgery one. We're just going to read this. Arms and legs lipedema removal surgery part 2. This is from February the 18th. Anna's timeline is always wonky, so obviously these dates are not the day of, and they haven't been for a while. Again, I've always been one of the first people to say I don't need Anna to give me the exact date that she is doing something. I don't need her to tell me on February the 18th I'm going to be at the lipedema center getting my surgery done at 6:00 a.m. It's in her best interest to not to tell me those things. I do just would like to have a past timeline, like, oh, I had my surgery done on the 14th. You know, that would be nice to know. It's well past the 14th at this point, right? So telling me that it was done on the 14th is not going to hurt you unless you're trying to hide your timeline. Anyway, so this is arms and legs lipedema surgery removal part 2. Once Amron has done removing my lipedema and fibroids, you know, liposuction, it was time for Dr. Moshrifi to scrub in and work his magic. 2 surgeons working together is what AL Team's approach to care is so special. Call me Hannah Montana, la la la. There's a reason they call Dr. Moshrifi magic, and that's because he really is magical when he gets into the operating room. I didn't know they called him that, but here we are. He also has created new techniques like the surgery I was having today, the invisible Brachoplasty. This is not something he's invented. He hides your scar under your arm. This is not something he invented. What was more evident than anything was how much he cared for me and made sure I was comfortable and at ease during the surgery. Going through a big surgery can be really scary. One thing to note, if you didn't know, because some of you may not know this, Anna went through what was called a twilight sedation. So she was she was basically awake. Well, she was awake through the whole thing. Because they don't have the facilities to put her under completely where she's at. She was effectively having her surgery done in one of the clinic rooms there. It's really weird. So they don't have the ability to fully put her under, and also they can't safely put her completely under. And that's actually backed up and supported by something Anna says later on, and I'm not sure if we've gone past it or not. But at one point during her surgery films, she mentions that I don't want to call him an anesthesiologist because I don't know if they were, but the nurse who was monitoring her twilight sedation had to make sure that Anna didn't fall asleep, because if Anna fell asleep, like if Anna relaxed enough that she fell asleep, Anna says, it might trigger my sleep apnea. If you don't know what sleep apnea is when you stop breathing. So basically what Anna was saying in her little covert way is that they had to make sure she wouldn't fall asleep, because if she did, she might stop breathing, and they don't have the ability to deal with that there, because she's not in a hospital. She's just in the back room of a clinic. I'm not trying to slam clinics. I don't know enough about them. I do know this isn't a hospital. And so if something like an emergency had happened, they would have had to have moved her from this clinic to a hospital where she could have been where they could have dealt with her better, right? And I'm sure that's true of any clinic like this kind of a thing. I'm sure there's certain medical things that can be done at a clinical level, and then there's things that have to be done at the hospital level, right? I'm sure it's different state by state. Don't get me started. I understand these things I understand this is a thing. This surgery just seems like something you would want done at a hospital. Especially when there's something to the effect of, Anna, we can't have you fall asleep because you might stop breathing. And if you stop breathing, we can't get you breathing again. We don't have the facility. We don't have the capability to get you breathing again. Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. Go ahead. It's fine. I don't mind. Also, they needed to keep her awake because she's so heavy. She's always like, oh, they want me awake so that I can reposition myself so I can be helpful during the surgery. Yeah, they need you to reposition yourself because you're so heavy they can't move you. None of this is a red flag to her, though. Anyway. Alright, so this is February 20th, and for my next magic trick, I first look at my new arms, this impressive result of some seriously special teamwork. Dr. Amron removed the lipedema and fibroids, and Dr. Mashrafi reconstructed the limbs beautifully. Honestly, I could not believe these were my arms. I'm still trying to process what they look like now. And then she's just, you know, yada, yada, yada. We are going to leave. This does have some sound, and I think it's just talking. There's a little stuff. So if you're a little queasy, you might want to look away, but it's kind of important to hear this one just because of what gets said.
Tiny. Moshraffi magic.
I mean, look, I already have his definition of the muscle here in a way.
Amron says, look here, there's almost definition of muscle in a way here.
I have muscle.
Yeah, you need a great result.
It's
He says, I have muscle. Yeah, because they cut all the fat away, Anna. I mean, everybody's got some muscle. So basically what they did is they just sucked the fat off of your arms and cut away the skin until all that was left was the muscle. That's one way to get abs, I guess.
It's kind of insane. Like, it doesn't even look like my arm.
Wait
a minute. Are these mine?
Super cute.
They don't feel like mine.
I mean, you paid enough money for them. I would like to point out that this lump here that you can see where my mouse pointer is, that's back fat. That's not her arm.
Oh my god.
And I feel like that's important to point out because, like, that's not lipedema. But Anna doesn't have any burnable fat on her body anymore, you guys. Do you see why it's so delusional? So this is February 21st. Honestly, coming home from surgery to these packages made my day, so I figured I'd do a little haul. Also, brain fog on 100, and my coordination still isn't all there. So enjoy this. So enjoy the mess. Thank you to the Band-Aid, and thank you to the brands that gifted me these. I know Band-Aid is one of the brands that gifted her. Is there sound?
In the hospital, there was a whole bunch of packages here while I was gone. So we're doing what's in my mailbox post-surgery haul. So
She cracks me up when she does her packages. I think it's funny, personally.
first off, I had this package from YSL, and inside it is their new scent, Black Opium. Here's the deal. I can't wear deodorant for like 6 to 8 weeks, so we're going to be using a lot of perfume.
I feel like that's not... So you're going to do an Amber Lynn?
Thank you. They also sent me this little pouch. I don't know what you do with it, but inside of it is their candy glazed lip gloss stick in 3 colors. So I'm excited to try those. I didn't know this one was coming, and this is one of my favorite, like, whoa, foundation rings. I'm still really clumsy, guys. I'm very excited. It also feels like roses. Long stem foundation. Whole bunch of lip stuff from Hard Candy. Let me know if I should swap them. Swap.
Is this really how brands want people to... Is this really how brands want to be represented? No offense. Like, is this really how brands, like... Oh my god, you guys, this elf... this elf lipstick, I mean, oh my god. Is that really what you want? Oh, shit. Don't do that. It will break. I do like this stuff, by the way. But anyway, my point is that really how you want to be? YLS is a big name. Right? Is this really how you want to be seen? I don't understand. I don't understand. And then Band-Aid writes, happy healing. Can I get this one up here? Happy healing. It's the very first one there. I get maybe Band-Aid kind of makes sense, but the rest of these is like, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll be an influencer and it'll make sense to me, but like this, is this really how you want your brand to be seen? Anyway. I'm just people often ask why I don't show more video from recovery, and honestly, it's because it can be pretty boring. Most of the time, I'm just sleeping or watching terrible TV. Boy, howdy. We're going to talk about her threads. Most of the time, I'm just sleeping or watching terrible TV. You leak a lot, especially the first few days, so you have to sleep on plastic shower curtains with pads on it. The highlight of the day is really when I get to go see Miss Pearl, the queen of MLD. If you know Pearl, you love her. We met Pearl the first time she did her surgery. So she's at least seeing the same people every time. So that's, I guess, good. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. CapCut editing made easy. I didn't realize she was using CapCut. Huh. I don't use CapCut. What am I using now? I started using DaVinci Resolve at the beginning of the year, and I love it. Anyway. I think there's sound, but we can at least watch it. I think it's okay. Why do they continue to let her to go to Trader Joe's? Her threads was very interesting in February because it was clear that she was stuck at home, and like every thought that she had, she tweeted on threads. What do you call the threads? Like stitched on threads? Anyway, she tweeted like every fucking thought she had on threads. It got obnoxious, and it wasn't even like controversial thoughts or anything. It was just like, oh my god, I watched Yellow Jackets #1. Oh my god, I'm watching Yellow Jackets season #2. Oh my god, my dog just farted. Oh my god, I need people to tell me things because I'm bored. It was just like, Anna, put the phone down. It's okay. Go do anything else other than post on threads. We don't need to know your every fucking thought. Anyhow. All right, so this is February 23rd. Just a girl who hasn't showered in days. Great, thanks. That somehow managed to pull herself together to look cute. I'd like to thank Dry Shampoo, Body Spray, and Good Light for their services in bringing this moment together. To be fair, good lighting will do wonders. This is Anna's new apartment, though, in case I hadn't said that. This is Anna's new apartment. So, just FYI. We've been in Anna's new apartment since post-surgery, so I think she got moved right before her surgery. So Anna decided to start doing this thing because it became pretty clear that Anna was going through not recovery, but more like depression. And it kind of does stick through February and into March, where people really start to notice that Anna's appearance is not great. And it's not like, oh my God, it's like worrisomely not good. It's like, you need to go see a different kind of doctor. Not great. And Anna does start trying to like perk herself back up and visibly try to make herself feel better. And I think what's very interesting about this is that one of the first things she starts trying to do to make herself feel better is she starts doing these outfit of the day kind of things. And the interesting part of that is back when Anna came back onto the scene from her glitter and laser days on her vlog and Instagram. So back in like 2015, 2016, I think it is. Somewhere around there. 16, 17. Somewhere between 15 and 17. She restarted her glitter and lasers social media by doing basically plus size outfit of the day kind of a thing. And that's how she built her glitter and lasers brand. And she claims in her early interviews about that she was doing it because she wanted to make herself feel better. She wanted to give herself a little boost. And one of the ways she found doing that was dressing up to take a picture of herself for her outfit of the day, so that she was doing more than just throwing on sweatpants and pulling her hair back in a ponytail. So we see her doing that here. I think it's in March where she starts doing the dressing up for me thing, which I don't have a problem with, honestly. I think some of her outfits are cute. And this is, I think, one of the first times that she does it. I don't think we've officially started the dressing up for me yet, but this is the beginning of her trying to kind of perk herself back up again. And like, it just seems very interesting that she falls back to this, which is good because this is what her brand was built around, were these outfit of the day kind of fashion holly things. So that's nice. And maybe this is her picking her brand back up again. And maybe now that the surgeries are almost completely over, maybe we'll get back onto that again and she can get back to why people initially followed her in the first place. But I do also think it's interesting that that's her go-to for perking herself back up again, is to go into outfit of the day style content. But anyway, I don't really think it's important. This is her just trying to make herself feel better, you know? And again, I don't have any problems with that. She's obviously in full compression. She's going to be in full compression for a while. This is as much of her new kitchen as you're going to get. I don't know why this trash can makes me think of it, but it reminds me of the trash can in Sims where you can throw your garbage into it and it incinerates the garbage and gives you simoleons. I wish that trash can was real, but it's not, alas. Okay, back. Had to turn a fan on. Told you guys it was hot. But yeah, so anyway. Let's go back to this. Yes. But, this one kind of ticks me off. Glasses back on. Bubblehead. This one kind of pisses me off just because of the content. Anna it really does get better. Hashtag chronic illness, hashtag self-love. This does not read like self-love to me. Maybe it's just me, but I would not talk to my past self like this just because like this doesn't feel helpful. It feels critical is what it feels like. But you're not going to be able to read this. It says, I had coffee with my former self today. While I had plans to have coffee, she never showed up. This is the perfect face to freeze on. She never showed up. She probably didn't sleep well last night. She doesn't know we have sleep apnea and restless legs. Oh yeah, we're adding restless legs to our collection of problems. So in February, we added restless legs. Maybe she was hyper-focusing on a project and forgot. She hasn't really learned to manage her ADHD. I thought you were a type A perfectionist. I thought that was the issue. Maybe she was in pain and panicking. She doesn't know how lipedema affects her body. I mean, haven't you sucked it all out of your body now? Maybe she was too exhausted. She doesn't know we have several autoimmune conditions that sometimes make everyday things hard. Maybe she just didn't want to come because she doesn't want to know about her future in case it never gets better. I wish she had come so I could tell her it does. Stupid self. Pff, loser. I don't know. I just hate this pic. I hate this. I don't know why. Anyway. This particular shirt, there's another clip. I think it's a short. It's got to be from Instagram where she's like, oh my God, you guys, this shirt finally fits. And it's because the sleeves have never fit her before. I swear to God, I've seen her wear this shirt before though. But apparently the sleeves of this shirt have never fit. And now since she's had half of her arm chopped off, the sleeves fit her arms. Thank you. So, magic. Magic Mashrefi. Mashrefi magic. This is her just working a puzzle, and it says shit show, and I think it's funny, but there we are. See, this is from February 27th. One of the things that came up this week on the podcast is the idea of showing compassion to your body and not being angry at it. I think we can just let it play. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but Compassion to your body and not being angry at it for not functioning the way you would ideally like it to function. Whether it seems like it or not, your body is doing the best it can with the cards it has been dealt. And if it isn't, get surgery. To support you. So showing compassion and love to your body through the healing process will help you work together with your body versus against it. For a lot of people, this is a huge change in their health journey when they can work with their body versus against it. That was all one sentence. Yep, it sure was. I think it's really easy to look at your body as an enemy. No shit. Never picked up on that. Never noticed that you do that. But for success and for happiness, you need to find a way to see it as a friend and a companion in your journey. What is this US thing? I've seen this on a lot of people's stuff lately. Like there's somebody who comments on my videos who has this after their name as well. What is this US thing? Do I need to start doing that on my name? Tiny Blue Anthropologist US. Is there a Tiny Blue Dancer EU? Is that what I'm learning? This thing right here. What is this about? Anyhow. You know, Anna and her beautiful, stupid dancing. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. I can do that. She looks so happy. She goes from this stupid, overly expressive face to this like super angry, aggressive, cranky face. I don't know how else to describe it. Here we go. Day 1. Oh, so this is March. We're gonna stop here. Actually, we're gonna stop here on March. Anna decided to go to Glitter and Lazer's land. She sure did. Anna decided to go to Costco wholesale and take some pictures. She says, "This is what happens when you take me to Costco, especially when I'm recovering and need to rest a lot. I go to test everything out, was going to rate them all, but honestly, they're all super personal, comfortable. Personally, my favorite was the egg chair." And she said, "I had to take a photo next to the only house millennials can afford." She's a millennial? Is she? Also, do I need the bookshelf at the end? I mean, I think I do. She got a lot of flack for these pictures just because, like, you don't really realize Anna's overall physical size until you start seeing her up against normal-sized objects. I kind of like this little, I always wanted a little, like, what is this? Like a gazebo like this. I just kind of like the outside house, outside room look. I don't know why. I like it. Very bougie for me. People are really freaking out about this particular picture. These people in the background, though, these are the real heroes here. But people are really freaking out about this picture. I don't how the hell did she even get this picture taken? I don't understand why Anna takes pictures like this that are so incredibly unflattering to her. You know, they're not great pictures. Like this one. I don't like these kind of chairs. I think they're uncomfortable. But that's my personal opinion. This is the bookshelf she's talking about. I don't understand why Anna goes out of her way to take really unflattering pictures of herself, but she really does. And it's weird, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what order these things go in, because I'm not that good yet. We're learning. But just some stuff that I screen capped for prosperity and that I wanted to talk about. This may or may not have happened in March, but we're talking about it now in February. So there. This is something that Anna posted on Threads, obviously. I really cannot understand why people have this narrative that I stay fat because of money. Where is this money and where do I collect? Because I've been existing in this body and getting none of the perks I'm supposedly entitled to. Here's the thing. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Anna just recently moved into a apartment that is costing her at least $7,000 a month. Now, for some of you, that might be like, $7,000, whatever. For those of us who don't make that kind of money, that's a lot. So I'm not trying to shame you. If you can afford a $7,000 apartment, get on with your bad self. But you need to understand that's a lot for an apartment. So, and then on top of it, This is the same woman that did an unboxing of all of the free shit that she got while she was getting surgery, where she got free perfume, free lipstick, free new foundation. What else did she get? She got a whole ass free care package from Band-Aid, which, okay, Band-Aid, whatever, but still. She did an unboxing where she got basically free clothes from one of the companies she reps. She gets free Starbucks. She's getting either free or very discounted surgery from Dr. Amron and Dr. Moshrefi. We're suspecting she may have gotten free Nando's, so she's getting free food. You know, and her entire brand up until this point has been built on the fact that she is a plus size creator. So all of her clothing hauls have been significant because she is plus sized. She bought into BOPO and she bought into fat acceptance real early on in her fashionista career. And so she got support and sponsorships from a lot of plus sized fashion. She got brand deals from a lot of plus sized companies or companies that wanted to at least look like they were plus sized. She got interviews from newspapers and online, well, mostly online news sources and things like that because she was plus sized. Anna is known. Anna has her following, her supposedly 12 million subscribers. She does not have 12 million subscribers. But her whole subscriber base on TikTok, she's built that because she is, as she says, fat. Like, yeah, Anna, we don't have a narrative of this. We have evidence of this. Your entire brand is you being plus sized, you being fat. Your whole thing is you are a fat woman who is super active, supposedly. And just recently you've decided that you have lipedema and all of these other health issues and, you know, but you're still fat and active and healthy otherwise. You know, it's, yeah, I do think that you get money and you get support and you get free shit because you're fat, because you're a fat influencer. I don't know what world you live in where you don't understand that that's what's happening, but here we are, you know? It was just such a stupid, and like, I want to say it's tone deaf, but I don't even think it is. It's just such a, like, gaslighting post to put out there for everybody who's following you. It's like, you've never not been fat. The only time you've ever had social media that didn't revolve around you being plus sized was when you very first started your blog, Glitter and Lasers, and you were trying to lose weight. And even then, it can be argued it was started because you were plus sized, but the goal at that point was to lose weight, not gain it, maintain it, and flaunt it, right? You love rocking out your half naked body all the time. You get vacations, you get Disney cruises, you get all kinds of free shit because you're a plus size influencer. So, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Where is this money and where do you collect? I'm assuming monthly from YouTube, just like the rest of us. So, somewhere around between the 21st and the 26th of every month, I'm gonna guess, just on a limb. And that's from YouTube? That's not your other sources of income that revolve around your Glitter and Lasers brand? Just, you know, seriously, Anna. Anyhow, I just wanted to talk about that one because it's just so utterly ridiculous. This one I wanted to talk about because of the whole surgery arc. So she's done with surgery until April, at least, so this month. I don't know exactly when she's having her belly surgery done. So again, I don't need to know exactly when it's going to occur. But this is a comment that she actually deigned to respond to. I think this is on TikTok The person asks, will you have to do more surgeries in the future, or will these surgeries cure the condition that causes the pain? And Anna says, there's not cure, but I'm excited because the surgeries will do the following. 1, reduce the venous congestion caused by the fibroids, allowing for improved blood and lymphatic fluid flow. Okay. Reduce the heaviness of my arms and limbs and the cement-like nature of the tissue. You mean the fat? The fat in your limbs? You're going to have it sucked out. Okay. Remove the fibroids around my joints to increase mobility and decrease chronic joint pain. The more she says this, the less I believe it. The more she says this, the less I think she knows what a fibroid is. Or fibrosis is. And the more I really want to look into this, because I just don't think this is I think this is bullshit. That is my personal opinion. Not a doctor. Never claimed to be one. So, it may come back that I have better tools to manage it. Oh, sorry. It may come back, but I have better tools to manage it. And more importantly, I'll have more time to truly live in my body. I mean, diet and exercise would be the best way to go about that. And you've proven that you can lose weight doing that. Because you did it for like 2.5 years, but you know, who am I? This is a screen capture that I got. I will say the majority of these I either got off of Reddit, I think it's called Glitter and Laser Snark on Reddit, or I got out of the Discord that I am a member of. So I just want to kind of cite my sources, if one will, to let people know where these are coming from. Because some of these I know are shared in other places as well, but I didn't get them there. I either got them off of the Reddit or the Discord. So I wanted to play this one just because we were talking about the twilight sedation earlier, and since February seems to be the surgery arc, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. This says, I get a lot of questions about being awake during surgery and whether it hurts. The reality is I don't remember much of anything that happened. Like, I don't remember saying this. That said, it's fairly accurate. It's a little awkward because of how you have to position yourself for the doctors to properly access your treatment areas, but it's surprisingly not that uncomfortable. I think this is actually from when she had her legs done back last year, but I think just kind of looking at it again this month is probably not the worst idea just because of how much surgery she had done this month, and it's only 15 seconds, so. And then again, it might actually be from this month because she did have some markings on her upper arm, so maybe they were just working on her calves at that point. I still don't know what she had done to her calves, so I'm still curious about that. So this is another screen cap. Remember we were talking about, there was a video where she was doing the wait for the drop video, and then it went into a bunch of her surgery pictures that we stopped watching. This is leading up to that. So this is a little bit of the story. Remember, she posts a lot of things on her stories and Instagram, and again, if you're not there for them, you miss them. So this is, like I said, this is a screen cap. So we're a screen cap of a story from her Instagram. Again, I'm pretty sure I got this one off of Reddit. So she had a little pop-up that said, I sing whenever I'm nervous. She says, I use this underwear as a modesty shield so we can film markings. So, like, if you weren't filming it, would you just be standing there butt-ass naked? Would you? I don't know. To be fair, I'm not all there at 6 a.m. either, so. It was so early, I had to get the building security to let me up to the floor. Why? Why did the building security do that? Why weren't they just like, nah, you can wait here in the lobby until the building's open? Like, what kind of security is that? She says, I have Ehlers Danlos? I'm gonna get it eventually. And a side effect is constant clumsiness. I don't personally know anybody who has that, who has EDS. I know of a few people in my circle of contacts who do. This is not what my understanding of it looks like. And those of you who have shared that you also have it, this is not what that looks like, according to y'all. Anna just desperately wants to have, and not just elastania, she wants to have hypermobile. So she wants like the worst form of it. And part of it is, you know, Anna has to be special. The other part of it is Karen Herbst is really pushing that lipedema is a connective tissue disorder. And Karen Herbst herself claims that she has Ehlers-Danlos. And so she, I think, is the one that has put into Anna's head that Anna also has it. So it's not like Anna just kind of like pulled this one out of a hat. I think this is another one of those situations where her doctors are telling her things and Anna likes the sound of it. So she's going to run with it. Kind of like, you have no more burnable fat on your body. Uh-huh. She says, I accidentally fell, but loved it so much I ended up using it in the clip, in a video. So this is where I was like, did you fall on accident or did you plan the fall? Because why were you lip syncing? I guess she fell and then was like, oh, wait for the drop. I guess maybe that was what happened. I don't know. Look, you get to a point where when people ask you how old you are, you just go, older than you? Unless you're not, and that you just say, old enough. Except Forever 21 closed. Wah, wah. Alright. I wanted to watch that one because of the Ehlers-Danlos clip and the brain fog thing that she says at the beginning. She's still trying to blame brain fog on her unspecified autoimmune issues. Because Anna, that's why. This clip is her heading home after surgeries. And I only want to play it because it's interesting. Because I remember watching Chikara watch it. And Chikara was like, oh, she's actually bending her legs. I don't see it. But she is walking real stiffly. Like, she's holding her arms real stiff, which I guess she's not completely 100% healed at this point with her arms, but she seems to be walking really stiffly too, which I guess if she did have her calves worked on, that would explain the real stiff walk as well. So, and again, I'm sure it was, you know, the plane trip from hell because Anna cannot, she just can't travel. So this is one I think I actually missed. Again, this is another story. And this says, recovery, I'm going to play it while I read it. He says, recovery is going great at home. So she's back home from Texas. No, she wasn't in Texas. She's back home in Texas. Recovery is going great at home. I just have one stupid wound that's fighting me and refuses to stop leaking. So I wear this super cute designer shoe. Staying active is so important for recovery, so we're making it work. So apparently she's got a wound on her, what leg would that be? Right leg that won't heal? Where the hell did she go with that one? Her luggage was orange. What luggage is this? Is this older? Are her arms not done yet? Nope, her arms are done. So this, okay, so this is post-arm surgery. Because she's in her new apartment too. Where the hell did that luggage come from then? Because her luggage that she packed was bright orange. That was like A, Disney, and B, pink. Does she have somebody with her? Is that it? Anyway, I don't know. And I don't know how much it matters. So this like here, she in March starts doing, I called it, what did I call it? Bariatric. Hyperbolic. I called it hyperbolic. It's a hyperbol. No. Anyway, she starts doing like an oxygen tank treatment where she's in like a tank that's 100% oxygen, and it's to help with wound healing. And yes, it's a real thing that yes, it really works, but apparently it's also becoming kind of a boutique-y thing. So, you know, with Anna, it might actually be something that she's supposed to be doing, but it might also be like, oh my god, it's new. So she might be doing it because of that. Either way, she starts doing a new wound treatment in March. We're still in February at this point. This might be March, but I'm pretty sure it's February. But she's home now, and it looks like she's having some issues with her right leg. Interestingly, we'll find out in April after this really stupid set of videos that I haven't gotten to yet, but we will get to them, where she's doing this really dumb dance. And one of the video clips she's doing, or she's trying to do the worm. Now, in all, I can't do the worm either, but I don't try to. But so she's trying to do the worm, and it doesn't work well. But then she puts up another. I just saw a screenshot of it, and it basically has a little caption that says, "My right leg has been holding on to fluid more than my left leg until recently. And then I did the trying to do the worm video, and suddenly my right leg has released all of this fluid. And, you know, it's magical because I was trying to do the worm for joyful movement, and the joyful movement has caused my right leg to release all of this fluid." Because someone pointed out in a picture that her right leg is bigger than her left. And it's been like that for a while, I was noticing, because I kind of flipped back through some other pictures. And if you look, her right leg is always been slightly larger, since her surgeries, has always been slightly larger than her left. And in that particular set of pictures where she's wearing kind of the dark academia kind of look that she does, it's really noticeable in those pictures. So I just think that's interesting that this is also the leg that is apparently not healing. So it must have had something to do with her calves, because again, she had the calf surgery, but this is the first evidence I've seen of her calves being done. So I don't know, I just found that to be kind of interesting. This is the video I was telling you guys about where she's freaking out about her shirt. This is also the same outfit where she's like, I was waiting for my old self to show up. Oh no, there's no sound. There's no sound, and there hasn't been. All right, let's try that now.
Today is a good day. I left my house. I went to Starbucks. I filmed a little video with John. I'm in a shirt that I could not even wear before because it was too tight in the sleeves. And look at this. Look at this. It's a beautiful day to be alive.
She pulls the living bejeebus out of this sleeve. I personally think that's still too tight, but Anna really likes tight clothes, so for her that may be loose. I wouldn't wear it, but I wouldn't wear it anyway. That's not my... Spoilers, I don't like Anna's fashion choices. I've never liked them. I've always been pretty upfront about that. I think this shirt is hideous. There's probably 90% of you out there who are like, oh my god, that shirt is adorable. I hate it. So, there you go. That doesn't mean you can't like it. It just means I don't like it. Making a slow return to movement. This is post-arm surgery. I tried the elliptical today and was very humbled by where I am. That said, I can still do a decent squat. Can you? I'll take a win where I can get it. I still can't work out my arms, but it feels great just to move, even if it's still a little bit limited. Even if I'm still a little bit limited. Here's the deal. I don't care about her squat anymore. I really don't. Her forms are shit. Everybody who ever looks at her form says it's shit. I think Chikara actually said that she may have improved a little bit. Another thing that someone else pointed out, I might have gotten this one off the Discord, honestly, because I remember the comment being, she's constantly restarting. She's constantly back to day one. She's always restarting, so she's never progressing because she's like Amber. She's always at day one. She's always restarting. And that's part of Anna's problem. She never gets past restart. She's just constantly going back and doing it again. We're restarting. We're redoing it. We've got permission to return. We're never week 3, week 4, month 5, month 6. You know, we're never like that. We're never in year 3. We're always day 1, day 1, day 1. So this is
Another day, another recovery sleigh. I even put on a red lip. This is today's recovery fit. I think it looks really cute.
I like it.
But it's really freaking comfortable. Like these are really just to cover the hole that's there.
Didn't need to know that.
And they have pockets, and this is just a really comfy like.
I like the Michigan accent. I used to work with a girl from Michigan. God, I loved her so much. She and I had the same name, and which also made it fun. Which don't get me wrong, she would give back just as hard, just as bad as we would pick on her. So don't worry. But we at lunchtime we just make jokes and shit until she'd start going no, because it was just so funny. And she'd get us back too. Don't worry. But it was just funny. I just loved her accent so much.
Comfy thermal that I tucked in. I love the headband of this.
I do actually like that headband. No horse kick? I like her outfit. I like red. She looks good in red. She really does. The red lip looks good on her. It's probably one of her fancy lips that she got from whoever the fuck it was who sent her makeup. I don't even remember who sent her makeup. I like the fact that she's doing these dress up things. There's one outfit that I was just kind of like, ew. But you know what? At least she's trying. And again, she's getting out of like that weird depression look that she had going on. And we'll look at it some more in next month. So there's that. But I do like that she's trying to get out of it more. This is day 2. She didn't post, and she said she wasn't going to necessarily post every day of it. I kind of wish she had, though, because she said she was going to do 30 days of it. But here we are. Anyway, I know there were some people that were kind of coming at her for the pants. I guess they're not supposed to be that poofy. I personally don't like those shorts anyway, but here we are. Of the outfits she puts together, that's the least offensive. She has these rants. We're going to save the rants until March because I'm almost positive they're March rants. This one, I think, is the free clothes that she gets. That's everything I've got for you guys for February. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I hope you guys really enjoy long videos because that's what you've got here. Basically, February's arc was Anna's arm surgery and Anna's recovery from her arm surgery. And again, on Threads, she was just basically verbally just regurgitating every thought in her head. Fine, whatever. You do you, Anna. It was painful to watch. But she did kind of go off a few times. So March is where she starts getting angry at the audience. So she's post-recovery at this point, but she's still recovering because, you know, Anna, she can't just recover. So we will go over her February. No, we won't. We'll be going over March in the next video and talking about that. But you'll notice that she starts getting a lot more aggressive in March than she was in February. And I think that's because in February she was just very preoccupied. She was moving. She had a lot of surgery going on. She apparently had some recovery problems going on. In March, she was able to start paying attention to what people were saying finally. And so I think that's when she starts getting a little bit more aggressive. She starts going after Alan Roberts, I think. Goes after Alan Roberts a little bit. Starts making some kind of hypocritical comments. She does have a few more critical videos made about herself, not just by myself, but yep. Colin Mockery comes out with another really good video on Anna. It also has Alan featured in it as well, but kind of the point is that, like, it's a pot calling the kettle black situation, and Anna probably shouldn't have pointed that finger, but she did. So yeah, anyway. So I think March becomes a little bit more confrontational for Anna, where February, we see Anna kind of in her own little world here. You know, she's doing more podcasts. She got her podcast going. The episodes are very, they're typical podcast episodes. I really stopped listening to the overall podcast in February. just because like they're basically the same thing. The biggest takeaway from Anna's medical detectives podcast is don't trust your doctors, and I got tired of it. It was basically Anna going me, and then don't trust your doctors, and that was pretty much it. And occasionally Dr. Nance would go, and that was pretty much it. That was it. So I have heard rumors. I have not verified this, but I have heard rumors that one of the interviewees from the podcast has gotten on the Reddit or on the farm somewhere and has talked about their experience on it. I have no idea what they said. I've not seen it. I'm mildly curious, but if it's coming off the farms, I'm not that curious. It's still interesting that it happened, right? That one of the guests is so pissed that they were like, fuck this, and they decided to run to any of the forums and be like, my experience on the podcast was, that to me is interesting enough. I don't even really need to know what exactly was said, but knowing that one of the guests, because she's only got 8 episodes, but just finding out that one of the guests was mad enough that they decided to go onto the internet and talk about it, that says a lot. So there's all of that. Trying to think of anything else I really needed to say. That's pretty much it. So that was February. February was Anna was moving. Anna got her arm surgery, and Anna was basically recovering for pretty much all of February. It was a short month, so that was good for Anna and all of us. And then March seems to be Anna decides to, hit the ground running kind of in her own way. And we'll start seeing a lot more of Anna getting back to kind of fashion hauling, kind of doing her thing like she used to do, getting mad at the audiences again, dirty deleting, and that kind of stuff. So if you have made it this far in the video, God bless. Go ahead and leave a, big red heart down in the comments section, because February was the month of Valentine's Day, or a big red broken heart or a black heart if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It's fine. Down in the comments section, if you've made it this far in the video, let me know what your favorite moment in February was. Let me know if I missed a moment in February that was significant. I very well may have missed something. I didn't go back over my own videos that I did throughout February, so, there might have been something that I covered in one of my own videos that I didn't cover here, so there is that. And mostly I'm doing these so that my end of the year review, it will be a little less traumatic for me, because I do plan to do an end of the year review as well, but I would like it to not be quite so bad. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It is official. This video is probably going to be close to 2 hours, and I've still got to do March, which is, from what it sounds like, going to be roughly this length as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next video.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.